Hi, everyone. Welcome to the first Wakanda webinars hosted by the Magic Kingdom Division. My name is Angela.
And I'm Kristen.
And today we're going to be talking about some of our favorite boba and coffee places around Southern California and some of the drinks that we recommend from each place. So we are going to get started. Thank you for joining us. So first, we are going to talk a little bit about ourselves.
So hi, again, my name is Kristen Nguyen. I currently serve as your Magic Kingdom Divisional Relations Liaison. I'm currently a fourth year at UCI studying education with a minor in psychology and social behavior. And my fun fact is I can walk in six-inch heels.
And my name's Angela. I am a fourth year at Cal State Fullerton studying communications advertising. I am your lieutenant governor. And fun fact, my favorite dessert at Disneyland is the beignet during the winter because it warms my nose. Okay, so a little about our webinar. Basically, it is a in-depth look at the recommendations that we have from different boba places and different coffee places around Southern California. We've split it between coffee and boba. So first you'll hear about the coffee spots, and then Kristen will take over and talk about the different boba spots. This also includes different locations, not all of the locations, but it does include mainly Southern California locations and also our drink recommendations. So we will get started with LA County Coffee. First is Blue Bottle Coffee. So some of the locations are mainly in Pasadena and various cities in LA, and there are other locations in Northern California. One of my favorite parts about this coffee place is the aesthetic. It's very clean, a lot of white. It looks like it's more open space, and in the picture down there, you can see that this specific place is in Culver City, and they have this really cool staircase that you can sit on and study. And then there's like the second floor, even though it's not technically a second floor, that you can study at as well. And it's a great place to study or read a book. At this specific location, they do sell books and very interesting books if you want to like stop by and read. And then for my recommendations, I recommend the New Orleans cold brew. If you're into cold brews, they are relatively strong. So if you're not an avid coffee drinker, I wouldn't recommend having a cold brew. Also, the Three Africans. I tried it once, and it's definitely not for everyone, but I did really like that. And then also, kind of a staple for coffee shops. You can't really go wrong with a cappuccino, and that's it's an espresso based drink with less milk than a latte. So secondly, in LA, we have Stumptown Coffee Roasters. It is in the located in the Arts District in LA, and outside of California, it's also in Portland, Seattle, New York, New Orleans, and Chicago. It has a dark, minimalist aesthetic. I personally love their cold brews. They're kind of known for their cold brews. So cold brews are relatively a stronger type of coffee. So if you're not into that, try their lattes. It goes down really smoothly. And also at this specific location, you might have to walk just because parking is limited. It is LA. And they have awesome customer service. So if you don't know what to get, like you don't have to get what we recommend, but if you don't know what to get, you can always ask them what's good or tell them what your tastes are, and then they'll kind of accommodate it to you. And fun fact, the original location is in Portland, and I was able to go visit that location earlier last summer when I visited Portland. And then my all-time favorite cafe is Cafe Maji in Artesia. So Artesia is kind of like borderline OC LA County, but it has the best aesthetics. I should have posted more pictures, but I couldn't find the pictures that I had. They play Korean music all day, every day, but it's not like super. It's not like your like Twice or BTS. They play more of like your chill K-pop music. Like if you're into IU, I'm a really big fan of IU, and they play a lot. And also Korean drama soundtrack songs, they play a lot of those too. This is a really great place to study because of the atmosphere and the songs that they play. Sometimes it does get loud, like in the evenings when more people are there. So I recommend if you are planning to study there and you want like a relatively quiet atmosphere, then you go during the afternoon. And outlets are only on the side, so they're first come, first served if you need a laptop, if you need to study with a laptop. But if you stay long enough and you just ask the servers for a table with an outlet, once that becomes available, they'll let you sit there. And it's also a really cute date spot. And I recommend so many things from this place, but specifically, I really like their tiramisu cakes, their special espresso drinks. So they have special espresso drinks. So one of them is like a tiramisu flavor. There's like the Irish almond, like vanilla almond flavor, and these come iced and hot as well. And sometimes they come with like a little chocolate bear on top. And then any latte and cappuccino, if you want that super cute bear cafe latte art, the one in the picture, then any latte and cappuccino you get hot will have that picture. Okay, now Kristen's gonna take it away.
Hi guys, so we're gonna start off the Boba section with Boba places in LA. So LA County is actually really, really big. So I actually split it off into like sub-regions or like sub-areas. The first one is a boba place called Bon Bon Tea House. It's in Northridge. This is in the San Fernando Valley area, so a little bit more northwest. The recommendations that I have are the potted plant milk tea with boba, or the snowy milk if you want something without caffeine. And the third recommendation is the brown sugar milk tea with boba. Next up, we have San Gabriel Valley, which is probably the area with the longest list of recommendations that I have regarding places in LA County. So the first one that I only actually recently went to and just completely fell in love with is Easy Sweet Tea House. It's in El Monte. And what I recommend is the boba milk tea. I also got to try the mango milk tea with mango star jelly, and the mango flavor is actually pretty strong. So if you're not used to a mango milk tea, or if you just don't like your drinks super sour, and if you like them super sweet, maybe this isn't the one for you. But I still definitely recommend the black milk tea because it's one of the few places that I have tried, and it doesn't leave like a cappuccino-like or like a chocolate-like aftertaste, which is what I find in a lot of places black milk teas, and I personally don't like that. So when I realized that I didn't experience that aftertaste here at Easy Sweet Tea House, I was really happy. So I definitely recommend that. The next city is Rowland Heights. I want to talk about Tea Brick. So there are actually two locations for Tea Brick, one in Monterey Park and this one, Rowland Heights. I got to go to this location simply because it was a little closer from my house. I completely love it because for those of you who don't know, my favorite animal in the world is corgis, and they give corgi bottles year round. So if you are into really cute bottles, this is a perfect place to try out. I tried their signature milk tea with boba. I also tried this fruit tea called the Vanessa. It's a strawberry lychee blended tea. All of their fruit teas have like a specific name, and I don't have them all memorized, but like if you're there, like they provide descriptions for everything. So don't worry about like the possibility of being confused or anything. And of course, I included the corgi bottle picture for y'all to see. It's super cute. I love it. So next is Pasadena. If you guys haven't heard, Tea Pumps, I think is a pretty popular place. There are two locations. I think the closer one is this one in Pasadena. Uh, they have like a list of like signature like fruit teas, and one that I and some other friends recommend as well is the raspberry mango black milk tea with boba. So also in the San Gabriel Valley area, I want to recommend Boba Time in Walnut. This is not the same place as the franchise that you guys usually hear about. That one is called It's Boba Time, and this one is just Boba Time. So it doesn't have the word "it's" in front of it. There's only one location, and what I recommend there is the yogurt smoothie. It comes with it automatically comes with strawberry, peach, and mango blended into it. It's really refreshing on a hot day. In West Covina, I and another friend recommend Uncle T. It is like a mom and pop shop, so there is no other location, unfortunately. So there's only one in West Covina, and there we recommend the jasmine milk tea with boba. So the next part of LA County that I want to talk about is in central LA. So there we have Boba Guys. There is finally two SoCal locations. So for those of us who have never gotten the chance to go up to SF, we can now try it here. So I was really happy that I actually got to try Boba Guys about 2 weeks ago. I tried the LA location. The strawberry matcha latte is pretty popular, but I'm not a huge matcha person, so I wanted to try something else. So I tried the strawberry tea fresca with boba, and it was really refreshing. It wasn't too sour, but it didn't taste watered down, so I really appreciated it. And also in LA is a place called Tancha. Um, they recently opened up another location in OC as well. And what I recommend from there is the brulee milk tea with boba. That is their most popular drink. It is on the sweeter side though, so if you don't have a huge sweet tooth, maybe opt for their original milk tea. So next is San Bernardino County Boba. The first place is Omomo Tea Shop in Chino Hills. This is the original location. They recently opened up an Irvine one, but for those of you who live in like the northern part of Orange County or are just up there often, you can try this location. It is a very, I think, matcha-based place. So if you're a matcha person, you'd probably really love Omomo. All their drinks taste really fresh as well, so I think a lot of customers appreciate that. And if you're not a huge matcha person, but you still want to check out this place, the strawberry Yakult fruit tea is really good. The second place I want to mention is a place in Rancho Cucamonga. And a perk about it is that it is really, really close to where the district board meetings are held. So if you ever get the chance to go to a district board meeting, I definitely recommend to scoot on over to Boba Brick Tea House afterwards. I've gone there a couple times. I always got the Heartbreaker with boba, which is a strawberry lychee green tea. But I like black tea more than green tea, so I usually sub the green for black tea. It automatically comes with lychee jelly as well, so there's already an add-on. But I just really love boba, so I always add that. And I think it's really fruity and really refreshing. Another place is Tea Pumps. This was the same place as the one in Pasadena that I mentioned earlier, but there is a location in Upland. In case you're in the San Bernardino County area, then you can always stop by there too.
Okay, so I don't have too many recommendations for Riverside, But there is one specific place that I want to give a huge shout out to, and that is Arcade Coffee Roasters. So this is kind of in the heart of Riverside. It is a great place to study, but is very limited seating. So it is first come first serve, or you kind of have to like be okay with sitting kind of close to other people. Parking is also limited, so you sometimes have to park on the side instead of like in front. Unless you're just there to pick up coffee, then there's no like real issues with that. Um, I really love this place because it has a great community. So they do brunch on weekends. They don't do it on weekdays, but if you want to get like a breakfast burrito or avocado toast on the weekend, they're your place to go. And they're a con about their place is that they're not open in the late afternoon or evenings, and that sucks because when I'm back home in Riverside, it's usually during break, and I don't wake up past like 12. So usually whenever I'm craving it, I can't get it because it's already closed or it's going to close soon. But when I do go, I always get the draft latte. I have yet to try the other drinks, but the draft latte is just so, so, so good. I get it every time. And it always goes down really smooth. All of their drinks, from what I've heard, talking to the people there, go down really smooth. And a really awesome thing about this place is that they've grown as a business. Originally, they were just a little pop-up shop. You can see in the bottom right-hand corner. They were only open during certain weekdays, and they were only open during like specific times. And then eventually they grew so big that they got their own location. And they've grown from like a small coffee shop to making their own coffee beans and producing their own coffee. So I think that it's awesome that this place was from my hometown, from Riverside. And I'm very proud. If you guys ever get the chance, oh my God, if you guys go to DCon, we could stop by Arcade Coffee Roasters beforehand, shameless plug, or after, you know. Okay, so Kristen is going to talk about Riverside County Boba.
Yeah, and if you're more of a boba person than a coffee person, then we can stop by these places before or after decon. The first recommendation in Riverside County is a place called Flavorful Coffee and Smoothies in Norco. So it's a little bit more north compared to Corona. And there, I suggest the Milky Way. It's like a really sweet, really cold and sweet drink. So it's really perfect for a hot day. And if you have a huge sweet tooth, that is probably the most perfect drink you can ever get. The second place that I recommend in Riverside County is Boba Tea House in Riverside. I got to try this place for the first time during winter break because I just don't go up to Riverside County often. So I only just got to try it during winter break. But I really loved the original milk tea. Like the milk tea I mentioned from Easy Sweet Tea House in El Monte, it doesn't have that cappuccino-like or mocha-like kind of aftertaste. So when I drank it, I really, really, really loved it. A friend of mine tried the cactus cooler fruit tea, which sounds really interesting. And for those of you who love the soda, the cactus cooler soda, you might be interested in trying it, but just a heads up that it doesn't really taste like the soda. It tastes more, it has more of like an orange taste to it. So just a heads up on that. And a final place I want to mention, I haven't been to this place yet. It has been on my list for the past year and a half, but I am just never in that area. So the place I'm talking about is called Mr. Chi Boba and Tea. It's in Wildemar. It's slightly west of Temecula. So it is really down south. And I just haven't been in that area, so I haven't been to this place. But it's a place that has really, really cute Boba bottles. I follow their Instagram and I check it like every single day, just to see what new designs they have because they constantly have new designs. Um, so they've done panda ones in the past. They recently released a corgi one. So I'm really, really, really gonna try to go now. But yeah, the bottles just look really adorable, and I just want to try the place. So yeah, I posted that here in case you guys are interested in trying as well.
Okay, so now we're going to go a little more local to Northern Orange County, starting with Phil's Coffee. So this isn't just Northern Orange County, actually. The first one in OC was in Huntington Beach. So this is Phil's Coffee. The one that I go to usually is in Fullerton because it's right next to Cal State Fullerton campus. And there is also a new location down in Costa Mesa. I haven't been there yet, but I do plan to go. And then the original one, like I said, in OC is down in Huntington Beach. And when you think of Phil's Coffee, you should think beach vibes because they have a very beachy aesthetic and they have great coffee and great service. This is definitely a place where it doesn't really matter if you've had coffee in the past before, if you're super into coffee, if you're just looking for something to wake you up or something like light, or even something without caffeine. This is a great place to go. Unfortunately, the Fullerton location is not ideal to study because the Wi-Fi is sometimes slow and you're not guaranteed a place to sit because seating is pretty limited. Unless you're like, I really recommend that if you're a big group that you don't come here. And for me, my favorite drink is the Tesora Phil's Way or the Ecstatic Phil's Way. So they're basically the same drink. One is just hot and one is just iced. And each drink, they divide it by blends. So there's light, medium, and dark. And then you can get it with extra cream, extra sweetener. But Phil's Way is kind of in the middle. Or if you are into like sweeter drinks, then you can get it sweet and creamy. And then secondly, we have Drip. This is located in downtown Fullerton and also in Chino Hills. The first one that I went to was actually the Chino Hills location, and I was hooked on it since. So after they opened the Fullerton location, I was really happy. And their coffee is quality, but it is a little more on the pricey side. Their interior design is really beautiful though. If you see the Chino Hills location, it's really, really nice. And this study spot isn't the best, specifically at downtown Fullerton, because the interior is a little smaller than the Chino Hills location. Wi-Fi is sometimes slow and there's limited seating indoors. There is seating outdoors, but you risk losing the Wi-Fi if you need like an outlet or your laptop. But for me, I recommend the affogato. So an affogato is basically espresso with vanilla ice cream. So the espresso is really bitter, but the vanilla ice cream, if you let it melt enough, it'll make it a little more sweet, so it'll balance out. And then I really love the Spanish latte. It is a little on the sweeter side. And then if you're super hardcore, you want to try the Black Goat Turkish because if you're trying to stay up all night, then that's the drink for you. Okay, and then the Aussie bean. So this is on here more for aesthetic purposes. It is located in downtown Orange. I recommend that if you go to this place, you ask for the koala. If you see in the picture, they're so cute. They're hanging on to your straws or your forks or whatever. And when I went, they didn't like automatically give it to me. And honestly, like I just went to get the koala. But but when I went, when I got my drink, they didn't give me the little koala. So I had to ask them, like, can I get the koala? And they gave it to me. The coffee though was pretty good. I've been there a few times and it is a great place to read a book. I've studied there a few times without my laptop. You might not find seating. Depends on what time of day it is because downtown Orange, there are a lot of Chapman University students in that area. for me, I recommend the Aussie Bean Flat White. So fun fact, the flat white is actually kind of like a mix of Australian and New Zealand taste. So it's originally from there. And then parking might be difficult depending on what time you go because in general, downtown Orange it's kind of difficult to find parking. Um, like in the lots, sometimes you have to park in the street and then walk a little farther. But yes, as for the okay, and then Contra Coffee. This is also in downtown Orange. This is super cute place because it's also a bookshop. So if you're into reading or if you want to just pop in and read a book and drink some really good coffee, then this is the place for you. It's actually around the same area as the Aussie Bean was. And it is also a great place to study. It's also has limited seating space, but the thing is, every time I go, I always find seating somewhere. And I guess it really depends on what time you go. Since, again, like Chapman University students also study there. Um, so, yeah, but I mean, take your chances. There are a lot of good coffee places around Orange if you can't find a place to sit here. And then also, it's really cool that you can mix drinks at this place. So if there's like a certain kind of coffee you want, but also like a different kind of coffee you want, then you can ask them to mix that for you. And then it'll be like the base price. The price will be the same. They won't charge you extra for it. And then I recommend Stay Woke. So this is definitely for the people who really want to stay awake. I got this during a time where I wasn't really that tired, so I kind of got a little jittery. I really recommend that you get this when you are like kind of you're not in like your best, so you need a little extra kick. And then the dirty horchata is really good because it is basically a espresso based horchata. So it has that sweetness to it, and it also has a little bit of, or not a little bit, it has a good amount of espresso in it to keep you awake. And then the Gold Rush is basically their version of the Vietnamese iced coffee. And I also love Vietnamese iced coffees. Okay, and then Insit Coffee. This is located at the Source in Buena Park. They have awesome service. Every time I go in there, the baristas are super friendly, and they have marble tables for your aesthetic Instagram pics. You can kind of see it in this more left picture. It's also a great place to study because there's a lot of seating here, and also one of my favorite places to just hang out and chill and catch up with people. I recommend the iced cafe latte. Their lattes are really smooth and they taste really good. But also, my favorite from this place is Ted's Cappuccino. It is more on the sweet side, and it only comes as a hot drink. But it is really good, especially because it's winter time and you want something sweet with a little kick. I really recommend Ted's Cappuccino. And I spelled cappuccino wrong. Please excuse me. Also, they have a list of barista picks, just in case you're not into like super sweet drinks. Then they also recommend other kinds of drinks, and it's also like when you go in, you'll see it, just in case you don't like sweeter drinks. Okay, and then Brought Coffee. This one's also in Orange. It is a little closer to like Chalk Hospital and OCTA. And this place is definitely not on the aesthetic side, but the reason why I like this place so much is that it has such quality coffee, and it's a really awesome place to study. This is definitely one of my favorite places to study because they have outlets in many places and it doesn't get crowded. So it's not one of your like more hypey coffee shops like the ones that I've talked about previously. This is like genuinely a really, really good place to study. And they have a very simple interior. I didn't include any pictures of the interior, but you will find parking always, anytime. And then I also recommend the cold brew. I really like their cold brew if you're into more of a, or if you're into something that doesn't have like milk or like sugar or creamer or anything like that, then I really recommend their cold brew. Their white mocha is pretty sweet if you are looking for a coffee on the sweet side. Their vanilla latte, I had it iced, and that one was really good too. But if you go, I recommend that you try different milks because changing up the milk can also change up the flavor and the texture of the coffee drink. Okay, now Kristen's gonna take it away with North OC Boba.
All right, so to start our list of Northern OC Boba, first up is a place in Buena Park called T-Bar. It is on the third floor of the Source Plaza in Buena Park. What I recommend there is the amazing milk tea with boba. It is different from the original milk tea. One is just plain black, and one is, I believe, if I remember correctly, a mix of different kinds of black teas. And I thought the amazing one tasted really good. And again, it doesn't have that mocha or like chocolate like aftertaste, so I definitely appreciated that. But the line can get a little long. Um, when I went, they were almost closing, and they actually just kept making drinks until all the customers were served instead of closing on time, which made me feel a little bad. But that just made me go, wow. Um, a lot of people like their place, and I was just really impressed. The next city I want to mention is Cyprus. So in Cyprus, I got to try Cha 2O. This location is the Cha 2O Mini. I tried the tropical twister with boba. It is a blend of strawberry and lychee green tea, and I thought that was really refreshing. If you like fruity drinks, but you don't like it too like overwhelmingly fruity or like too sweet, I think this is a good choice for you. Next up is Fullerton. So I actually only recently got to try these two Fullerton places, and I absolutely loved one I'm going to mention, Guilty Delights. I sampled, I think, like 6 or 7 different drinks from there, and my absolute favorite one was the taro milk tea. Um, if you are a huge taro fan, I really recommend you try the taro milk tea from here because it's really creamy. You really do taste the taro, and it also seems like they might use coconut milk in addition to like their other like the usual ingredients that people use for milk teas. So I felt like I tasted the taro more. And then the second Fullerton place is I'm gonna say Here Tea. I didn't hear any of the employees or the owner like pronounce it while I was there, so I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly or incorrectly. So for now, I'm just gonna say Here Tea. So Here Tea is actually literally right next to Guilty Delights, not even a couple units away from each other. They're literally right next to each other. Here Tea actually just opened, like very, very new, like just opened. I got to try that 2 days ago, and the way they make their teas is, I think, a little different from what I'm used to, especially the sweetness level. So they don't make their drinks that sweet. Um, if you want it at like a normal sweetness that you would experience at other boba places, you would have to tell them to make it a little sweeter. And even then, it might be not as sweet as you expect. But they are definitely understanding and okay with adjusting the sweetness level. So like, don't be afraid to tell them to adjust your drink if that's what you want. Um, I heard that the Mr. Mango with boba was really good. I tried the black milk tea. It is a little more on the bitter side, so if you like your milk teas not super sweet, then I would recommend that. A friend of mine also tried the white peach oolong tea with boba. That definitely did not have any kind of sweetness to it, and you still tasted that white peach. flavor in the tea, so it's really refreshing. And I definitely recommend it to people who just like drinking plain teas. And a perk about Here Tea is the picture on the left that you see there. That is one of their walls. So it's super cute if you're going with your significant other, or even if you're just going with a friend or family member, or really anybody. You have that wall to take super adorable pictures with. They also have on another side of the wall, like this swinging kind of seat that you are able to sit in and take pictures with. And they also have a pink guitar that works and is not just a prop on the ground right next to that swing that you can just pick up and play as well if you want. So I think that was something that was like really cute, like a nice touch compared to other boba places. All right, and next up is Garden Grove. I think this is the city with the biggest list, because I'm originally from Garden Grove, so I go to Garden Grove a lot when it comes to boba. So the first place is Almond House. So a little backstory about Almond House. I actually tried it when it first opened, probably when I was 12-ish. Um, I believe I had the milk tea. And I don't really remember what it tasted like since it's been so long, but I just remember not liking it. And I actually didn't come back all the way until probably 3 months ago, um, where I was with family and my cousins wanted to go there. And after like 10 years, I gave it another shot. I tried the strawberry mango green tea. Oh, and a side note, I asked and they don't sub the green tea with black tea because I usually prefer black tea. And so I asked if they could sub it and they said no. But it honestly still tasted really good. It's one of the few drinks or like the few places that I would go and be completely okay with drinking green tea. So I definitely recommend that if you want like a fruity drink. The almond milk tea was good as well. My cousins tried the lychee rose green tea and the cookies and cream smoothie, and they thought those were good as well. So if you like lychee flavored teas or if you like cookies and cream, then I recommend those two as well. The second Garden Grove place is I4 Coffee. So I think not a lot of people know about this place, but I definitely recommend it if you are into taro, because it is the place that it is my favorite place to get a taro smoothie with boba, and they also automatically put little bits of grass jelly as well. I'm not a huge grass jelly person, but with the taro smoothie, and especially with the little amount that they put, it doesn't really bother me. It actually tastes pretty good, in my opinion. So if you like taro smoothies, I definitely recommend that. The only downside is that there is very limited parking, so you might have to wait a little bit if you go. The third place is Island at Coffee. So this is more like a restaurant, but um, it's still like definitely like okay, or like it's not weird or anything if you just go in to just get a drink. I recommend the durian smoothie there. Your choice of whether you want to add boba or not. I know people who would add boba and some who don't, so that's just up to you. But they do make a really good durian smoothie, really creamy. Um, but if you're only starting to like be okay with like the smell and the taste of durian, I don't recommend trying it yet. I recommend waiting a little while so that you're more used to it, because it is pretty strong. So for those of you who really love durian, I definitely recommend it. And next is Tancha. So like I mentioned way earlier in the webinar, they recently opened up a Garden Grove location. And I recommend the brulee milk tea. But if you don't have a huge sweet tooth, then the original milk tea works too. All right, so there's a couple more Garden Grove boba places. The next is Lambada, or at least I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Lambada. Tea and Frizzle. So it's on Bolsa, and it's a very small place. It is kind of new as well. Um, their most popular drinks are the fruit passion tea, the jasmine milk tea, and the pistachio milk tea. Um, and it has a cute decor as well. The only downside that is that it is really small, so seating is limited if you go during like dinner time or something like that. And it's also a restaurant. Um, I recommend trying their chicken pho. They have a discount right now. Each bowl is only $6.50. So if you want some pho, you should probably try that. Um, the next Garden Grove boba place is Muti Cafe. So this is not one of my favorite boba places, but it is super cute. So I would definitely recommend going here and trying the lychee black tea or the strawberry black tea if you want a pretty decent drink with like cute decorations and walls for you to take pictures to post on Instagram or anything like that. They have a couch, a table towards the back with cat plushes. They have cat figurines everywhere, the stickers on the wall too. So it is really cute. The next Garden Grove place is Tivo Tivo Lounge. I definitely recommend the strawberry black tea with boba. The coconut and taro smoothie is really good as well. Um, Another place I recommend is Tira Tea House. This is in the Korean district of Garden Grove. The house milk tea is really good. It doesn't have that mocha like aftertaste. And my last Garden Grove recommendation is Urban Location, and I recommend the milk tea there. So moving on from Garden Grove, we have Orange. There, they have Dragonfly Tea Bar on Chapman. I recommend the black tea macchiato if you are a coffee person. But please remember to sip it first without mixing and only mixing it after drinking halfway. Um, I've learned that it just tastes better that way. The rainbow tea and the berry terrific are also pretty good as well if you want fruit teas. And those are their specialties, so there's already a lot of like add-ons and toppings. Next is Thai tea. Thai tea actually also opened a location in Garden Grove recently. So there's that option too if you're ever in Garden Grove. I recommend the honey milk tea or the Thai tea. They do make the Thai tea a little strong, so just a heads up. And their large size is really, really large. I believe for only $4.99 or $4.95, and it's really big. So I think it's definitely worth it. Next is Stanton. So there is a place in Stanton called Naughty Cafe. And there, I really like the green apple lychee smoothie. The jasmine milk tea and the mango peach green tea with mango jelly are pretty good too if you're ever in the Stanton area. And the last Northern OC place is Your Belinda. That's a little, well, not a little, it's really northeast of Orange County. It's at the border of Corona. And there's a place called IT Ice Cream and Tea. It is not part of the IT franchise, so please make note of that. The strawberry black tea and the taro milk tea are really good too. I once tried the French vanilla fresh milk tea with boba, which is usually something I would never try. But I just felt like being kind of spontaneous and adventurous, and I tried it. And it wasn't too overly sweet, like you were eating just plain sugar. So I definitely recommend that if you want a milk tea, but like with a little spin on it.
Okay, so before we move on, we do have a sign-in sheet. It is tinyurl.com/Wakanda webinar, and Henry will also be posting this in the Facebook page, and it'll be open for a few minutes after the webinar is over. So again, that is tinyurl.com/Wakanda webinar. Okay, South OC Coffee. So the first place is Neat Coffee, and I just found out that this place is temporarily closed and it's going to reopen in April. But it is located in Costa Mesa. This is actually one of the very first coffee places that I tried when I moved out to Orange County after I started college. And the awesome thing about this place is that it has lots of study space. So you can see in that picture that there are like realistically, if you get there at a good time, you can like have a board meeting or something there. And they have a lot of seating and also free Wi-Fi for you to use. They serve Stumptown coffee, so if you don't want to drive all the way out to LA to get your Stumptown fix, then you can come here in April, not like tomorrow. After it reopens in April, and I recommend the latte and the Americano. And it's they have this what's it called? This like stencil thing that you can take a picture with, um, and really cute decor. Okay, next is Hopper and Burr. This is also one of the very first coffee places that I found out about in OC, and this is located in Santa Ana. Their customer service is awesome. It is top tier, and it totally gives DTLA coffee shop vibes if you see in that picture on the right of the interior. Super big windows, super open space, and it is a really great place to catch up and study. It does look like there isn't too much seating though, so you do have to get there at a good time. If you want to park really close by, you do have to pay for parking. They have parking meters, but I'm sure there's also free parking. You just have to walk a little bit. And then I recommend the avocado toast. They don't, that's not a coffee, but their avocado toast is pretty good. And a mocha. If you're really into like chocolatey flavors, then I recommend getting the mocha. And this is a place that I found out about recently. It is called Huskins Coffee Company in Santa Ana. The parking is a little confusing though, because you have to park inside of the apartment complex and then walk kind of through the apartment complex to get to the coffee shop. So when you do, if you do, then make sure to park in the future resident or guest parking so that you don't get ticketed or towed. And the music choice is kind of eh. I mean, I've only been there a few times and the music was kind of like not coffee shop vibes and it was kind of difficult to concentrate on my work. But the interior is very sleek and minimal. It is an okay place to study. They have free Wi-Fi, and also I recommend not sitting towards the sun when the sun is setting because the sun was beaming through my soul when I went to study. So I had to move a few times. And I recommend the Hometown Latte. This is one of their specialty drinks. And they actually use Canadian maple syrup in that drink. And then this is my absolute favorite place to study in Orange County. It is the Lost Bean Organic Coffee Tea. I'm pretty sure there was supposed to be like a shop after that, but it is in Costa Mesa. This is the best place to study ever. From my experience, it gives office vibes. And if you're familiar with like advertising agencies, this is like my ideal advertising agency space. And they have outdoor seating, as you can see in this picture, on the bottom next to the dog. They have outdoor seating, but they also have power banks for your laptop. So you just ask them for a power bank. And if they don't have like an outlet close by, then you can use that to charge your laptop. They have a lot of parking. So park wherever. And you might see dogs every once in a while. You can see the little dog in the bottom right-hand picture. And then for me, I recommend the La Paz. It is a caramelized sugar latte. It's not as sweet as it sounds. It is like slightly sweet, but not like super, super sweet. I also recommend the matcha latte if you are into matcha, and the hazelnut latte if you're looking for something not too sweet, but something to keep you awake. Okay, South OC Boba.
So with South OC Boba, my first place that I recommend is in Costa Mesa. It's called Meat and Sweets. It's a relatively new place. If you like horchata, I recommend the Mermaid Horchata. But if you're not a huge horchata person, I think the mango jasmine tea is good too. The second Costa Mesa place is that Boba place. To be completely honest, the drinks here are but the food here is really, really good. So if you're looking for a boba place that has decent drinks but really good food, this is a really good spot. In Fountain Valley, my absolute favorite place to get Thai tea is Craved Tea House on Brookhurst and Heil. They also have a drink called Green Bliss, which is lychee pandan milk tea, which sounds really weird, which was what made me hesitate to try it too, but I tried it once and it was really great. They also often have student discounts if you bring your student ID, or happy hour for their house milk tea. In Huntington Beach, I recommend Tea Arias. It's on Edinger. If you go past the Bellaterra shopping center, they have the taro green milk tea, which I haven't seen at any other place, and I think it tastes really different and interesting. I also recommend the rose blossom latte as well. In Irvine, right across from UCI, is Cha for Tea. That is my absolute favorite place to get mango green tea because it's not too bitter, and it's really fruity. The hot almond milk tea is really popular as well. And Omomo. So, like I mentioned earlier, Omomo opened up an Irvine location, but FYI, the line is very long. It's usually a 40-minute wait. So, just a heads up if you ever go. Another place in Irvine that I recently discovered is Red Straw. They originally have an LA location, but they recently opened up in Irvine about 2 months ago. And right now, add-ons are free, so I really recommend going right now. The Rose Garden with lychee jelly and boba is really good. It is a lychee rose green tea, but the rose scent isn't that strong, so it's not too bitter. And then Pango. Pango Drink Station is a place with really cute, like Pango themed, like decorations. They have two locations, one in Laguna Hills and one in Lake Forest. I recommend their milk tea and their sparkling water drinks, Mango Madness and Deep Blue Beauty. And the last city that I recommend in Southern OC is a place in Westminster called Three Blossoms Cafe. I think their most popular drink is the blueberry shaken matcha, but honestly, everything here is good. I think so, and a lot of friends and people I know who've been here think so as well. And another place that was originally known as a NorCal place is Tea for You. They finally opened up an OC location, and I recommend the Panda Milk Tea.
Okay, so I only have one recommendation for San Diego coffee. I'm actually from San Diego, but I didn't live there for long, so I'm only familiar with one coffee place, and that is the must-try Better Buzz Coffee. It is a very popular location for some of us in OC. They are a huge chain in San Diego. They have a black and white, really nice, sleek, kind of like a bee aesthetic. And they have drive-throughs and sit-ins. So some of their locations are drive-throughs. Every time I go, it's relatively crowded. So I can tell it's a good place to study if you can find a place to sit. And the parking really depends on which location. So this specific location in this picture, it is a little difficult to find parking. Like sometimes you have to park in the neighborhoods in the back or pay for parking. And the drink that I recommend out of all of the other ones is the best drink ever. It is this vanilla-based drink that is just sweet enough and has enough coffee. And honestly, some of us in OC go down to San Diego just for this coffee. So if you are in the area, then I recommend that you try this place. But you don't have to like drive all the way down to San Diego just to try it, just in case you're in the area. Oh, and then one special shout out to my favorite coffee place in the world currently is this place called Barista in Portland. It had the best vanilla latte that I've ever had in my whole life, and I hope that I can try it again. But they're only in Portland. And Kristen's going to talk about some boba chains.
All right, so there are a lot of places that have multiple locations. And I just wanted to briefly go over them. So first, that's pretty popular. That's OC based is Seven Leaves. My favorite drink there is the taro milk tea and the Thai tea. A lot of people like the house coffee with boba as well. At 85 degrees, the rose milk tea I think is really good if you're into floral drinks, and the caramel milk tea if you're looking for something sweeter. Boiling Point, they're probably the restaurant that has like the best restaurant kind of boba, and Hokkaido milk tea is what they're really known for. At Class 302, there are a couple Irvine locations and one Santa Ana one. They It's a self-serve boba place. My favorite drink to get is milk tea with a splash of taro milk tea. And then Ding Tea. So this has recently been a really popular place that's mostly in OC. I definitely recommend the winter melon milk tea there. I don't drink winter melon from any other place, but when I tried it at Ding Tea, I thought it was really good, so I definitely recommend that. Happy Lemon. So there are a couple locations in OC, and then I think there's also one in Roland. They're part of the Sun Mary Bakery, and what I recommend there is the oolong tea with cheese foam. And then the franchise, it's boba time. My favorite drink there is the blueberry yogurt smoothie with boba. At Kung Fu Tea, I love their original Kung Fu milk tea with boba. And Lollipop, the place that started it all for me. I will always love their milk tea with mini boba and their lychee black tea with lychee jelly. Roasting water. I have some recommendations, but mostly I wanted to mention it because I want to tell you guys that they have really cute bottles if you're into that. And then Share Tea. This is probably one of my favorite boba places ever. My favorite drink is the strawberry peach oolong tea with aloe vera, but that's only available at the Santa Ana location. So if you're at another location that's not Santa Ana, I recommend the oolong milk tea or the milk tea ice blended. And then Snow Monster. So at Snow Monster, there's a couple locations in OC. I recommend the honey milk tea and the Thai tea. Tapioca Express, this was also the other place that started it all for me. I recommend the strawberry snow bubble. I will always love that drink there. Tea Station. So I recently tried Tea Station, and I really love the peach yogurt drink. It is really creamy and fruity. 10 minutes tea time. I actually got to try today. And I love the strawberry peach mango black tea with boba. They let you mix however many like fruit flavors you want. I think that's really nice. And then Twinkle Brown Sugar. I definitely recommend the brown sugar milk tea or the rose milk tea. And here I linked my Google Doc of SoCal boba places. It is probably about 20 pages long, but you can always find like boba places for whatever city you're in or whatever county you're in. And I will always constantly update it.
Oh my God, this is awesome.
I spent a lot of time and dedication on that Google Doc.
You can't move. Oh, there you go. All right, so thank you so much for joining us at our very first Wakanda webinar about boba and coffee. I hope that you found a place that you really want to try in the future, or maybe hit us up so we can try it together. But also thank you to Henry for putting all this together. And yeah, anything to add, Kristen?
No. I mean, if you have any questions or if you want us to like send you any recommendations that you don't remember, like you can always message us on Facebook.
Yes. All right. Thank you, everyone. We are going it is exactly 9 o'clock. And also don't forget to sign up at and the link that Henry will post soon, or he also posted like the spelling on the live chat. So you can type that in tinyurl.com/Wakanda webinar. Make sure to sign in because we are going to close the form in about like 10-ish minutes. But thank you.
Yay, thank you for coming.